Well, to talk about this, I'm joined by civil rights advocate Cyrus McGoldrick from the Council on American-Islamic Relations. Thanks very much for being with us. Why are New York cops being shown something like this, which many say is an offensive anti-Muslim film?
I think we were wondering the same question. I mean, this is an issue that came up almost a year and a half ago when first a Muslim officer came out and was offended by the film, then a non-Muslim officer came forward and was offended by the film. We have been dismissed, callously dismissed, and these allegations have been denied for a year and a half. So honestly, Ray Kelly's apology just now is almost a year late, and he's completely ignoring the issue of why did he lie about it. He was caught in a lie. This is now much larger than an issue of bad judgment and propaganda being used as training. This is an issue of integrity.
Right, and Ray Kelly is the city's top cop who was featured in this film, and he says that his decision to take part was, quote, a mistake, but that's not before the police department changed its story about Kelly's appearance. Yeah. How is Kelly's boss, Mike Bloomberg, dealing with this?
They've been very dismissive of everything, which is kind of typical. It's very condescending. They've blamed junior officers for their own mistakes and for lapses of judgment. There's been, and really I think the worst part for us is because this is not, honestly, this is not about retribution, this is about correction. This is a policy of Islamophobia that has been institutionalized in this department as seen by the surveillance program. This is just one example, this propaganda film. There really needs to be concrete change. There need to be, of course, resignations, but that's a minimum. We really need corrective training, and we need oversight. There has to be oversight over a police department that is the largest in the world.
Raymond Kelly
and Mayor
resign?
Bloomberg called it. Absolutely. Raymond Kelly should resign. His spokesman, Paul Browne, should resign. They have both been caught in lies. We have a signed letter from Commissioner Kelly saying that he had no part in the film. This was from March of last year. It's really shocking how this has gone. If this was any other community, they would have handed in their resignations over a year ago.
Right, but you're talking a little bit about how the city can remedy this. If they don't do that at a minimum, what kind of message is that going to send?
It means that they don't care. It means that this community is not valuable. There is a real risk here because our tax dollars are paying this department to protect us. We have over 600 Muslim police officers in the department itself. Now, for them to completely ignore the concerns here, for them to ignore calls for oversight, for corrective training, this is much larger than a Muslim issue, mind you. This is almost every community of color, almost every New Yorker who is concerned about their civil liberties has called on them for concrete change, for substantive change, and this needs to come now or we really are at an impasse. This is a complete breakdown of trust.
Sorry to interrupt. Any idea how this film ended up being shown to police recruits? Who made that call?
That remains to be seen. I'd be very interested to find that out myself. I think the fact that Commissioner Kelly was in it, in his role as the police commissioner, I think that might have led to this being handed over to the police department. Certainly there was no internal, there was no real effort to deal with this issue properly.
All right, Cyrus McGoldrick, thanks very much for talking with us.